Historic Capitals of America series. This is a journey through the cities that governed a nation. Atlanta, Georgia. The capital that keeps moving. Atlanta announces itself in layers. There is the flash of sunlight on the gold dome of the Georgia State Capitol, the sweep of interstates around downtown, the rumble of trains, and the steady arrival of airplanes from across the world. There are old brick churches beside glass towers, tree-lined neighborhoods beyond the skyline, and streets carrying names such as Peachtree in every direction. Georgia's capital is a city of motion, shaped by transportation, enterprise, education, music, politics, and a remarkable tradition of civic leadership. Again and again, Atlanta has taken a new idea about what it could become and built toward it. The landscape helps set the pattern. Atlanta rises on the Piedmont, where Georgia's mountain country begins to slope toward the coastal plain. Red clay lies beneath rolling hills, while the Chattahoochee River curves along the city's western side. Long before Atlanta appeared on a map, Muskogee communities knew this country through towns, trails, streams, and trading places. Near the meeting of Peachtree Creek and the Chattahoochee stood a place remembered as Standing Peachtree. Later roads followed portions of older routes, giving the growing city connections that began well before rails or pavement reached the region. Unlike many major American cities, Atlanta did not begin beside an ocean harbor or on a broad navigable river. It began with a railroad stake driven into the ground. In 1837, Georgia selected this area as the southern end of the Western and Atlantic Railroad, a line planned to connect the state with Tennessee and markets farther west. The settlement was first called Terminus, then Marthasville. In 1845, it received the name Atlanta. Rail lines soon reached toward Augusta, Macon, Savannah, Chattanooga, and beyond. Depots, hotels, warehouses, shops, churches, and homes crowded around the tracks. A transportation crossroads had become a town, and the town was racing toward cityhood. The Civil War brought that early growth to a violent halt. Because Atlanta was a major rail and supply center, it became the objective of a long military campaign in 1864. Fighting closed around the city, residents fled, and large sections of its rail yards, workshops, businesses, and buildings were destroyed. Yet the railroad city rebuilt quickly. New commerce rose beside repaired tracks, and Atlanta's energy helped persuade state leaders to move Georgia's capital from Milledgeville to Atlanta in 1868. The present state capitol, completed in 1889, gave the capital a commanding landmark. Its classical form and gilded dome, covered with Georgia gold, still shine above downtown as a symbol of state government. As Atlanta expanded, it became a center of learning, as well as trade. Atlanta University, Morehouse College, Spelman College, Clark College, Morris Brown College, and other institutions created an extraordinary community of scholarship and leadership. The campus is now associated with the Atlanta University Center, educated generations of teachers, ministers, scientists, artists, business people, and public servants. Nearby, Auburn Avenue grew into a celebrated center of Black-owned banks, insurance companies, newspapers, shops, theaters, and churches. Known as Sweet Auburn, it showed how strongly Atlanta's future would be shaped by people who built institutions of their own and used them to strengthen the wider community. During the 20th century, Atlanta's connections multiplied. Railroads remained important, but highways, broadcasting, corporate headquarters, and aviation extended the city's reach. The local airport grew from a former racetrack into Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, turning Atlanta into one of the world's great gateways. The Coca-Cola Company carried an Atlanta-born brand around the globe. Television and news organizations gave the city an international voice, while medicine, banking, logistics, technology, and higher education drew new residents from every region. Atlanta became both a southern capital and a city with a worldwide address. Atlanta's greatest influence, however, came from people who changed the nation's conscience. Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta on January 15, 1929, and grew up in a close community centered on family, faith, and Auburn Avenue. His father and grandfather preached at Ebenezer Baptist Church, and King later served there as co-pastor. He attended Booker T. Washington High School and entered Morehouse College while still a teenager. In Atlanta, he learned from ministers, professors, business leaders, and neighbors who believed that education and organized action could transform public life. The city gave him both a home and a network from which his national leadership could grow. In 1957, King joined other ministers and organizers in forming the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, with its headquarters in Atlanta. From there, the organization coordinated campaigns, trained volunteers, raised support, and carried the practice of nonviolent protest into communities across the South. Leaders such as Ralph David Abernathy, Andrew Young, Joseph Lowry, and many others worked through Atlanta's churches and offices. Coretta Scott King became an important public leader in her own right and later founded the King Center to continue the work of nonviolence, human rights, and public education. Atlanta was not simply the birthplace of one famous man. It was a workshop where a broad movement planned, learned, and organized. Young Atlantans also took the lead. In 1960, students from the city's historically black colleges published an appeal for human rights, a clear statement calling the nation to honor its democratic promises. They organized sit-ins at segregated lunch counters, marched, negotiated, and endured arrest. Their Atlanta student movement joined the energy of students across the country while keeping a strong local voice. The work of King, the students, church congregations, lawyers, educators, and neighborhood organizers helped open public accommodations and expand political participation. Today, the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park preserves King's birth home, Ebenezer Baptist Church, and the surrounding neighborhood where this history took shape. The movement changed Atlanta's public leadership. The city often advertised itself as too busy to hate, a slogan that expressed an ambition more than a completed achievement. Progress required persistent work, careful negotiation, brave protest, and voting. In 1973, Maynard Jackson became Atlanta's first black mayor and the first black mayor of a major city in the modern South. His administration broadened participation in city contracts and helped shape the airport's expansion. Andrew Young, a former aide to King and United Nations ambassador, later served as mayor as well. Their leadership made Atlanta a national example of how civil rights organizing could move from streets and churches into city hall, economic policy, and international affairs. Atlanta stepped onto another world stage in 1996 when it hosted the Centennial Olympic Games. New construction, transportation projects, visitors, and worldwide broadcasts transformed